Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome back. It has been a 4-month hiatus. Yeah, just life happens, and we are back. So, as far as the channel goes, there will be no more Seattle franchise mode because that just wasn't working. That was we lost a little too much footage there, as well as audio and different things like that, so that will not be continuing. We're replacing that with this. I think this is going to be a load of fun, as you can probably tell by the title and thumbnail and everything of the video. So yeah, we're going to get to this in just a second, but before we actually do that, let's get to what we're using for this franchise mode. So of course, Nashville franchise mode. Going to be Predators have been in a terrible team this season, if I'm being completely honest, and I think the 4-month hiatus for me was enough time to breathe, let go of all the frustrations and angers we're going to probably see come back out in this game for me, because again, 25 has just been a mess overall, but slowly and steadily it's becoming, I wouldn't say playable, but it's becoming moderately acceptable. That's probably where I would word it up to this point. So let's take a look at the current roster we're going to be using. This is the Vasy and TacTix roster, I believe. So if we end up with any kind of like crazy, what's the word I'm looking for? Crazy add-in Easter egg players, will reboot the start of the franchise mode. I'll redo that off camera, and then we'll go from there. But taking a look at this actual Predators team, that's one of the things I like for the most part with Vasy's rosters. They are extremely accurate. Again, if you guys don't know Vasy rosters, go check him out. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description because he is crushing it right now. But what we're going to be trying to do with the Predators and this team is trade off some extremely valuable pieces here. It might not even be year one. Our team might just sim a crazy good year one. Who knows what'll happen there, but we'll see. But of course, again, these guys are all going to start depreciating pretty quickly in value. So we will have to probably sell at the deadline if things aren't going well. But we got some nice young pieces. Luke Evangelista, Justin Barron's actually a surprisingly decent bright spot. Zach LaRue, even though he, takes lots of penalties and stuff like that, another good option in the system. And then, of course, Saros has just got a crazy good overall rating, very good extension too, so he is going to be a valuable piece for us in what very likely is going to be a Nashville rebuild. It's just going to be a matter of time. Looking at the Milwaukee Admirals, because they hold a good majority of the prospects that the Predators are going to be relying on in the future, we really only have maybe one first line, first pairing type of player in the entire prospect pool in Nashville, which is a problem. But that would be Joakim Kemell. And again, high top six, has potential to be maybe a top line scoring winger at some point in his career. I would very likely be putting him probably more second line, but then that bumps Evangelista down, which is also a problem. So we're going to be sorting that out at some point. But once we do actually figure that out, then we will go from there with moving other prospects. Another thing I have noticed about this Nashville prospect pool is the sheer amount of power forwards in the team between these three. So we have a whole line of power forwards with Matthew Wood, Igor Surin, and Reed Schaefer. And then there's also David Edstrom over in Frölunda. Teddy Stiga is an intriguing prospect. I actually quite like him. I think he is going to be a very good piece. But yeah, also, I hope you guys enjoyed the little intro I put together in the video. That's kind of meant to be there to help build hype. Besides that, we've only got a few other guys. Tanner Molendyke, Andrew Gibson. I think that's pretty much it for the other players that are actually going to be available in this team's prospect pipeline, and then everything else is building from the top. So, we'll get GM Etanyos going here, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting rebuild, slash, I don't know if we'd call it perfectly a rebuild, maybe more of a kind of build on the fly with the Predators here, where, yeah, we might really suck for a couple seasons, but hopefully it's not going to be more than like 2 or maybe 3 seasons total, and then we're hopefully going to be maybe competing a little better, maybe, actually pushing for the playoffs again. We're going to turn off GM firing because I'm probably going to get fired otherwise. I hate Fog of War. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys know my settings for the most part if you've watched any of my other series, so really nothing too crazy here, but really we're just mainly setting this up as the setup of we're gonna go medium, I think, because if you guys know my franchise as well, if you don't know my franchises, we're going to use a little wheel spinner for the draft class quality and everything, as to how it actually generates. We will actually do that here in just a moment. I'll show you guys my whole spreadsheet and tracker. Something we're going to be doing differently is we're just going to be using auto scouting, so we're not going to be able to just like pull all these stupid, crazy good draft steals and things like that. We're just going to go both like everything CPU related, so that's going to be interesting. I think we're also going to use the draft class spinner here on the trade difficulty year to year too. So there's going to be certain years where it's like, okay, trade off because we're going to win a whole bunch of trades because it's easier trade difficulty, versus a lot of years it's going to be hard. So I think that'll actually add a lot of kind of randomness into this too. And then we want fully healed on all our injuries. Pretty much all of this. We're gonna leave the sim engine scoring and the shot frequency, but these two are gonna get fixed here in just a second. So let me pull that up, and then we will get going on that. Okay, now we're on this. Ignore all the ads. Don't worry about that stuff. But what we're gonna be doing is we've got draft class quality, prospect quality. We're aiming for one of each. So let's see how this goes exactly. And it's gonna be medium prospect quality. Okay, so definitely medium prospect quality. And then if it loads, still medium prospect quality. This is the problem with this spinner, is that it'll sometimes spin the same thing like at least 3 times in a row. So let's see. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. Okay, I reloaded the page. Let's try it one more time. So we got medium prospect quality, and then draft class quality is going to be low. Ooh, okay, so we're going to be relying definitely on, at least first year here, we're going to be relying heavily on created prospects and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, guys, so now I have the other wheel picker here. This is going to be a spin wheel for the trade difficulty. So let's rip this nice and quick, see what we're going to get. And is it low? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to have low trade difficulty or easy. I have it as low. It should be easy. Let's change that. But yes, we are going to have easy trade difficulty first year, so that might benefit us drastically. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so we had medium prospect quality, low draft class quality. So yeah, that's the wheel picker there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if the wheel picker is a good idea, if you don't think it really changes the franchise mode all that much, all those things. But obviously we also got easy trade difficulty year 1. We will do this and change this after every single year. And then the only other thing we're going to do is 6 on attribute effects, and then bump the injuries down a good little boost. 25 for CPU and 15 for computer. If that turns out to be too much still, then we will change that even more. Pretty much everything else I tend to leave. CPU penalties, that, man, I've been playing some other older NHL games like 18 and 19, and that's set to like 30 or 40, and your teammates, like your AI teammates, just constantly take penalties, and you have to adjust it, otherwise it's a huge problem. But anyways, without further ado, Nashville. Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time on the lines or anything like that. What we are going to just go take a good look at is our team and our prospect pool quickly. So lots of no moves. That is going to be a severe problem for our team, is the amount of no movement clauses we have in these top guys. it's just going to be tricky. Simple as that. It's just going to be tricky to move these guys, but maybe we'll find deals and moves that actually, make sense for these players if they actually want to win in their careers. If they're happy in Nashville, so be it. We can try to build a team around them, but it's gonna be difficult for sure with the group that we have here. We do at least have 3 first-round picks, so stocking up on those, maybe that'll benefit us this year. I think it's actually a decent draft in 25, and then 26, we at least have our own picks, so if we're really garbage in 26, then so be it. Justus Adinen's our second-best goalie prospect at 24 years old. He's also just our second-best goalie. So, yeah. That's going to be tough. That's going to be real tough, so... yeah, that is our team. That's what we're looking at. As far as the draft class goes, James Hagens, Matthew Schaefer, those are kind of the big names. Obviously, Porter Martone, Michael Misa, and then, I guess it makes sense that Frondell's kind of right there. But this Josh... what do you want? Nike. And we've already got a Nigel appearance, and we're only a good... hello, yes, I know. I'm actually doing a recording. What's going on? Sorry, He's developed this habit of jumping straight up onto my chair. It's very cute, but Nike, up here. Yeah, hello. So this is Nigel, for any of you who haven't met him in a live stream or something like that in the past. Nigel the cat, he's just a lap cat. He just jumps in my lap, sits down, usually purrs. Sometimes he'll try to chew on my chair armrests, like he's going to maybe do right now. But... we are definitely in the market for a lot of pieces, but Nigel, some really high-skilled forwards would be a good thing for this team, I think. Anybody with, maybe those chances. I think that's a generator prospect, so that might be one move that we redo here. But yeah, other than that, there's not too many issues, add-in players, things like that. And honestly, if it's one defenseman, if it's... what's his name here? Andreas Kurtz, yes, he's 19, but maybe he's an option that either, we manage to draft or whatever happens. I'm actually not even sure where or who Kurtz is from and with. A guy like Ravensbergen, sorry, not Ravensburg. I've always just cut it off at Berg instead of Bergen. But yeah, Joshua Ravensbergen could be a really good goaltending option for us for the future. But yeah, going to be an interesting draft class here to start, and we will have to kind of just play it on the ball here because we don't know exactly what we're going to be getting with all of these players. I think I have a decent idea of how some of these guys turn out and what their potentials are, but I really didn't look through all the creative players all that much. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think this team needs to do? What's our goals for season 1? Let me know in the comments and we'll feature those to start the next episode. I think that's really important that we get your guys' input as much as possible for this series because that's what's going to keep it engaging and interesting. And that's why we're going to keep this to a fairly short episode too. Nigel, what are you doing? But Nigel, obviously he can never get enough screen time. He just enjoys being on camera. He's just a bit of a weird cat like that. I don't know why our defense is so bad as far as chemistry goes and why Zach LaRue's not playing. But, well, to be fair, Zach LaRue is a bit of I wouldn't call him a hothead, but I'd call him a very borderline player. He's not super dirty, but he's definitely get in your face power forward grinder kind of style. And yeah, Nigel, can you get down please? No, you want to be in the camera shot? Yeah, okay, that's Nigel for you. He just loves getting in the shots. So yeah, again, let me know what you guys think. Comments below. That's all we're really doing in this episode. We're not going to adjust the team or move too many things around because there's just so much work to do with this team. So now that is said, let's pull up the other Now that that's all said, let's pull up the spreadsheet and take a look at kind of what we're working with, because I have collected our team's overall kind of top prospects and things in one place to look at. Okay, so here's a good look at what we're dealing with as far as our overall team goes. So you can see my tracker and cursor in here. This is a fabulous spreadsheet. If you guys want a copy of this, I will share a link. And then all you have to do is go up here, go File, go Make a Copy, and that's it. You shouldn't have to request to, change the spreadsheet or anything like that. But we've got our years, all 25 seasons in here for NHL. You've got your place, your rest of your team record, your points, and then offense, defense, goaltending, top score, what they scored, and then I typically type in the results. So if we did not qualify, you would DNQ. Or let's say we went to the finals and got knocked out. You go round 4 knockout, and then put, round 4 knockout, lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning, or round 1 knockout, and then instead of who you lost to, you could maybe go, I don't know, like whoever was the champion, say Chicago won the cup that year, which is completely inaccurate, but just for example, that's how we're going to use this spreadsheet. So you guys will see I'll give a year-by-year breakdown of how things go, how this all looks. You can see it's a hugely important, interesting, but also super easy to use for the most part spreadsheet. Once we get to episode 2, you guys will see it in action, and I think you'll really enjoy kind of just having this like boom, all in one place, ready to go kind of option here with the spreadsheet and tracking and how everything else goes. So yeah, all the draft stuff goes in there, your player extensions, years, money signed, all that stuff. Any trades we make too, that's what you'll probably hear me kind of clicking around on the keyboard when we make trades, and that's what I'm doing. Team ratings end up going in these slots right beside the markers, which will make sense once you see this main spreadsheet in action again. We do have awards too, which is super fun and cool because it actually pulls up all of the team awards and everything year after year. And then drafts, of course, too. You kind of work your way up, so then the most current draft is like, 2034. We'll be starting down here and working our way upward on that sheet. So that is it for the spreadsheet for the most part, besides this planner here as well, which does give us, again, a total amount of money spent on our roster and everything like that, if you can put all the numbers in accurately. So this is the team and the group we're currently working with. As you can see, Joakim Kemell, probably the only top player we have, as I've said. A bunch of other like top 6, top 9 kind of guys. We have a good future middle 6, I would say, for this team. That's how I would describe them. Svechkov, Evangelista, LaRue, Teddy Stiga, Edstrom, Matthew Wood, like all of those guys, those are good enough players. They're going to build a very big, solid, fast, physical forward core, which is solid. Like that's probably what's going to help you win in the playoffs, but you still need that top-end game-breaking talent. That's where like a Michael Misa or a Gavin McKenna or a somebody like that would be super nice for this team to have. Not that we're going to be getting any of those guys. Even a James Hagens on the top line would probably be good enough to drive a good chunk of this team's offense, and the rest of the team could just pitch out an even net zero for most of the games, hopefully, at least once they're in their prime. But then there's the defense. And the defense just is missing some top talent. Like, obviously, Roman Josi's at the tail end of his career. He plays righty, lefty, top pairing. So that spot's not really going to be open for about a year or two, at least. In a year or two, Landon Dupont. That's all I'm going to say. Landon Dupont. I would love to get Landon Dupont in the top right D spot. If we don't get him, maybe we'll manage to snag a steal here or there somewhere else that fills that spot. Tanner Molendyk, pretty good pick in 23. Has the potential to play that middle 4 or like that 3-4 defenseman role. Andrew Gibson, trade out of the Red Wings. Decent defenseman as well. Got some really good size more than anything. And then I think Justin Barron will be young enough to stay in our top 6 for a while, especially with high top 6 potential. That should be good. But then we have no goaltending, really. That's kind of the biggest qualm I have with this team currently, is that there is just no goaltending prospects, and they traded away Yaroslav Askarov. Yes, he wanted out, so no hard feelings with Barry Trotz, but it just sucks because Askarov was already looking good, and then they went, Saros has kind of got the starting role, and we're going to extend him. And Askarov went, okay, trade me, I'm out of here then, which, fair enough. But this is the whole shebang, the works behind it all, as to what we're going to be using. So I think that's where we're going to wrap this first episode up. Again, answer the questions I leave in the comments below, guys. We'll probably be doing an episode every, I'm going to say 2 to 3 days probably. We'll just, again, leave the comment section open for about 2 days in between episodes, and then you guys can leave your thoughts, leave your opinions, and we'll go from there and make it all work. And again, stick to the YouTube crowd's comments for the most part, because this is not going to be a live series. We're not doing live streams or anything like this, but going to be fun. Hopefully, I'm going to try to keep most of the episodes to around 30 to maybe 35 minutes max, so that it's a little more engaging, a little more one-on-one, talking to you guys straight up and featuring the comments, making the moves, making it all happen. Because again, I love franchise mode, but it's just been, I just needed some time away from 25 to just let it settle, let all those emotions and frustrations with the game just kind of disappear, let life and other stuff get in the way. But we are back, baby. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, and again, answer those comments, because that's what we're going to need for the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.